Hey everybody, welcome to what is week 5 already of Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 3. We're already well into it, and this is the week that both of the 2 Aquaman style variants are unlocked. The challenges are both unlocked so that you can get the style variants, and this video deals with how and where to go exactly to complete the challenge known as Claim Your Trident at Coral Cove. As long as you bought the battle pass at some point and you completed the first 4 Aquaman challenges, you'll find this challenge listed under the Aquaman challenges at your challenges map table as usual. Alternatively, once the challenge is unlocked and available, you can view it from within the regular in-game map as well. That's essentially what you're looking at on your screen right now. As you can see, the challenge doesn't sound too difficult. You only just need to claim your trident at Coral Cove. It even has this marker showing you vaguely where to go to find Coral Cove and presumably the trident. However, this marker is kind of misleading. The trident can actually spawn in 1 out of 3 different locations. Essentially, if you take a look at your map right now, notice the 3 circles. These are the 3 different locations where the trident could be during any given game. The trident could be at any one and only one of these 3 locations. To give you an even better idea of how far you'll have to travel, possibly, and also so that you can see what these locations look like, plus where they are in relation to everything else, here's another different view of all 3 locations. As you can see, they're basically these pretty small rock formations that kind of protrude out of the water. They're all identical or nearly identical, so that helps in picking them out. And as you can also see here on this drone cam, the trident isn't that hard to see, even from a relative distance. Now just one thing, for whatever reason, using the drone cam has the trident show up in all 3 possible locations when you examine them the way we are now. This, however, will not be the case when you go to try to find the trident for yourself during gameplay. I just wanted that to be clear. So anyway, now what I did when completing this challenge, I basically picked one of the 3 rocks at random. More specifically, I settled on this top one here. And I figured I'd go, and if the trident wasn't there, then I would just make my way down the left side of this island here, going rock by rock until I found the trident. You may want to do something similar, or just remember you'll want to move quickly before the storm moves in. And in case anyone is curious, I am not 100% sure if you can complete this challenge in just any game mode, but if this challenge works in Team Rumble, that might be a safer way to play this, and that's really your call. I say that because with, of course, this being the first week of this challenge, there is a pretty decent chance you might run into other players at any of these 3 locations, so it's also your own call on whether you want to go grab any weapons first or not. Me, I didn't really think about it too much, honestly. I kind of just set my beacon down and more or less I just jumped and I started gliding down. That's really all the thought that went into it for me. With that said, do keep on watching the playback. First off, there is the trident. I find it on my very first try, so I'm getting ready to finish up this challenge. Except, I wanted to point out, at some point along the way, I became aware there's actually another person gliding in behind me. Almost just like that, I had a flashback to the last challenge I had to complete over at Rickety Rig. A few of you might remember, but keep an eye on your screen if you weren't around to see what went down and to see essentially the reason why at this point I'm experiencing some serious anxiety over that other player coming in behind me on this rock. I apologize, but this is important for me to bring up. So if you guys still recall, this challenge asks that you dance on top of this massive crane at Rickety Rig. The other guy lands here. I decide to be polite and not pickaxe him to death, and what does he do? He turns around and axes me to death, and then hurls himself off the side of the crane. I mean, obviously this guy's a total psychopath. So here I am now trying to complete this challenge, and it's like the crane scenario all over again. So I pretty much knew I was dead before my feet even hit the ground. I was like, okay, awesome, I'm gonna have to do this all over again. There was no doubt in my mind whatsoever that this guy or girl was gonna pickaxe me to death and I'd have to do it all over again. I'd pretty much resigned myself to that fact already. But then it was like, oh, this person, it was awesome. This person, this amazing kick-ass individual just stands there and lets me do the challenge and evidently even starts trying to complete the challenge themselves. That's why I felt it would be just like the biggest dick move to do anything but swim off at the end. I mean, should our paths cross again later on in the game, so be it. And it just makes me think certain people might be able to learn a thing or two from this. I mean, a certain specific person does come to mind. Anyway, getting back on course here, we're almost done actually. Because truly, the hardest part of this challenge is just finding the darn thing to begin with. But let's rewind back just a little bit here. When you get to the rock, the correct rock, and move in close to the trident, you're going to see this prompt to quote-unquote search the trident. Just press and hold your own platform's respective button or key until that circle has filled up completely. At that point, you'll know you're finished by the fact that your character suddenly morphs into this basic Aquaman style and stays that way until the point when you first get injured. The challenge should say it's completed on the upper left-hand corner of your screen as well, like so. And then when you're done with the game itself and you go back out into the lobby, you'll be formally given your rewards at some point. Also then unlock the final Aquaman challenge, which is going to reward you upon completion with the second and final Aquaman style variant. And that, you guys, is it for this challenge. If you made it this far, might as well do that whole like and subscribe thing. It's totally free of charge, I promise. But in all seriousness, do consider it. I hope this was helpful, and I do hope to see you again. I can't say that. Each of the spawn locations, I'm crying. Every time I say it, I think you're expecting to laugh, and then if I don't laugh, then it's like funny. And I laugh. Oh my god.